That day, I grabbed my MP3 player and I went for a run. And what happened next absolutely changed the course of my life. Because on that run, it was the very first time that I had ever listened to personal development. Very first time. And when I came back home, I sat down on my couch and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, building confidence is a habit? This is not some predetermined DNA, some genetics. I can actually become more confident. Confidence is a muscle. I can strengthen this muscle by doing scary shit. This was a concept that was absolutely revolutionary to me. It was something that was completely opposite from what I had thought my entire life, completely opposite from what I had been taught for so long, the complete polar opposite from the belief system that I had at my core. And in that one moment, I was able to completely break through that belief system and adopt this new belief that I could become a confident person. I could become a confident person. And I love the idea of this because it really goes to show that listening not just to personal development, but being able to allow yourself to hear something that maybe you've heard a million times before, but being able to hear it for the first time, like one day, these things just click for you. All of a sudden, it just aligns and it can change your entire life. And it's truly because we get into this mindset that change takes time. Oh, it could take weeks, it could take months, years even. Change, whew, that's a lot of work. But the reality is, change doesn't actually really take time. The thing that takes time is our flip-flopping. It is our decision to take that first step that actually takes time. Now, fine, if you're trying to lose weight, then perhaps, that's going to take time and it will happen gradually, right? But the decision to make that first step, that decision to make the change, it happens in 1 second. That's a powerful realization. And so I really want to dive in today how you can build more confidence, how you can really own making that change and really decide for yourself what kind of a year you want to have in 2017. So my name is Jen Casey. I am a business strategy coach and I help online entrepreneurs, specifically in the health and wellness field, turn their social media into sales and build thriving online businesses. So the first thing I want to talk about today is simply what we were just saying. How do I build more confidence? Everyone wants a little bit more. That's really the magic stuff that allows you to break through. That's what allows you to get to that next level. So how do I get more? Pretty simple. You just do things that make you freaking uncomfortable. And this works in both ways. Every time you are approached with a decision, like, should I make this phone call to this person? It kind of intimidates me to call them. Or should I press live and do my very first live video, even though I have no idea what I'm going to say, even though I'm completely terrified that I could fumble? Maybe I should ask someone for the sale and present my opportunity or ask them to buy my product, but I'm completely terrified that they are going to say no. Or maybe it's really just simple as sitting down to map out what you actually want. You can sit down and map out what you want. And maybe that's the thing that you have been avoiding like crazy. And because you've avoided all of these things, you feel freaking overwhelmed. And when you feel overwhelmed, that creates a negative impact on your confidence. So every time you are presented with a decision to either do something or not do something, it's not just that when you don't do it, you remain the same. When you don't do it, you're actually not just going backwards, but you are creating that negative momentum for yourself. If you're familiar with the concept of the compound effect, it is the idea that the habits that you do day after day, year after year, are maybe incremental, maybe very, very small, but they compound over time, and it's that snowball effect. So if you are consistently and constantly doing things that challenge you, that make you stretch, that make you freaking uncomfortable, then in a couple of years, months, the chart might go like this, but all of a sudden, if it's doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling, that thing, you're going to skyrocket your success. And all of a sudden, you're coming out ahead of everybody else around you in the same industry, and no one can figure out your magic sauce. No one can figure out why you're different, why you're more successful. It's like this very elusive thing, but it comes down to the fact that you showed up every single day. The same goes for those of you who are maybe avoiding doing things that are very uncomfortable. If you're avoiding those things, how does that make you feel energetically? How does that affect your confidence? Right? All of a sudden, you're not doing the things that you know you could or should or are capable of doing, and you're letting fear get in the way. And one day at a time, it's chipping away at your self-worth. And the crazy part about this is that there is a statistic that the more times, or the longer that you wait to do the things that are uncomfortable for you, the less likely you are to ever actually do them. And waiting and contemplating and flip-flopping and not actually sitting down to do it, that is how dreams die. That is how you take somebody with all the freaking potential in the world and they do nothing with it. And to me, that is what lights my fire. That is what makes me wake up every single day. Because I was that person that was wasting away at a job that didn't fulfill me, surrounded by other people who were very negative, who complained around management that was hating life, that everyone would go do their thing, be stressed out, and go drink at the end of the day. And then the next day come into work and be like, that was so crazy last night, we got drunk. And there was no substance to any of the conversation, and no one was ever actually moving forward. Everyone complained, and no one wanted to find solutions or take action. And I could not stand it. And so when I work with people, when I work with my clients, and when I see people in the online space who are stuck, the best thing that you can do to build confidence is take messy action, and take it today. Now is my word of the year. And I just launched my podcast, Entrepreneur Now, and that's really the whole theme behind this, that you don't have tomorrow. I know it's so cliche, you don't have tomorrow, but you literally don't. You literally don't. And people who have had near-death experiences or family members that have passed away, they understand this on a very deep level. And I feel like some other people, they're just like, but that's for other people. No, that's for everybody. You don't have tomorrow. So what kind of legacy do you want to make sure that you leave? How can you show up? How can you show up today in a way that is so big that no one would even recognize you? Because that's who you are at your absolute core. And you know it. You know it because you were brought onto this planet for a reason. So get out there and start living that purpose. The second thing I want to talk about is decide. Making that decision to do it, right? When we sit down to do things that are uncomfortable, when we sit down to do things that are overwhelming, it is very easy to be pedestrian. Are you a pedestrian, or are you somebody that's at that next level? When you sit down and something's overwhelming, you have a choice. Are you going to throw your computer against the wall and throw a temper tantrum because this is hard, I'm going to stomp my feet? Or are you going to say, well, this sucks, I'm going to give myself 2 seconds to cry because I want to scream and I'm so frustrated, and then I'm going to get back to it? Because it's in those moments that you really define not just the person that you are today, but the person that you're going to be in 6 months, the person that you're going to be in 5 years, the person that you're going to be when you're sitting on that rocking chair and saying, I don't have any regrets in my life because I showed up every single day as the best person that I could possibly be. Is that the kind of legacy that you are going to leave? And for those of you with kids, I know that this is even more tangible for you because you've got little eyes watching you. You've got little eyes modeling everything that you are doing, saying, and the way that you're showing up. So you have to recognize, because we've all been kids, we've all modeled things that we've seen, that is for real. So the goal in this is to really decide for yourself, are you going to build stamina and endurance, or are you going to give up? Because when you make that decision to build stamina and be an athlete, be an Olympian in whatever you're doing, that's when you really start to build that confidence muscle to the point where you're not even flip-flopping anymore when difficult things come your way. You're not even like, should I do it? Should I not? You're just like, that looks scary. Let's go. And you almost become an adrenaline junkie for getting uncomfortable. I remember early on, my first couple of times or situations where I had to do things that made me uncomfortable. I wanted to avoid them, and many times I did, but little by little, that one idea of confidence as a habit, I can build more confidence if I do this. I might suck, but I'm not gonna die. And if I don't die, I'm gonna do it again, right after. So this is exactly like, for those of you with live video fears, get on live video, and then the next day, get on live video again. Or an hour later, get on live video again. And just keep doing it until you are not completely unafraid, but until it just becomes a thing that you don't even have to think about. It just becomes an automatic. And the third piece that I want to talk about pertaining to building confidence is really understanding, especially for those of you in the entrepreneurial space, especially for those of you building businesses, you have to understand that patience and trust are one of the biggest pieces, right? When I am coaching someone, they might say, I've been in my business or building my business for 3 months and nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. But it's important to realize that anything worth having takes time. And for those people who are saying that their business or the thing, their career, this thing that they want to do, whether they want to be on Broadway, whether they want to, be in the Olympics, whether they want to be in the 30 under 30 on Forbes and just kill it, in whatever their industry is. If you are trying to become at that level where you are in that mastery level of excellence, you have got to ask yourself, how important is this? Because I see too many excuses. I see way too many people who say that they want these things, who swear up and down that this is their life's purpose, that they want to help people more than anything in the entire world, and then they don't show up. And this is something that I don't really understand, because if you want something that badly, you show up. You show up. So why aren't you showing up? And maybe you've got some emotional blocks that you've got to get through. Maybe you've got some money blocks that you've got to break through. Whatever those limitations are, those limiting beliefs, if you have them and you recognize that you have them, how are you proactively seeking help and seeking assistance and seeking coaching to break through those things? No one's expecting you to do this completely by yourself, but if you're sitting around hemming and hawing about, well, I have these blocks, so because of this, I can't do it. That is a story that you have created for yourself, a story that's completely untrue, a story that you did not come onto this planet with. It is one that was created, molded to you before you probably even knew what was going on. So now, as a grown adult, you get this really beautiful thing, right? You get to decide what kind of story you want to have for yourself. So is it going to be that you're this sad little kid that never got picked for dodgeball? Or, are you going to be that badass adult that just freaking goes for everything and doesn't wait to be picked? Which are you going to be? Which is more empowering? Now let me tell you, going for it, not necessarily easier. I would say they're equally hard. But staying stuck where you are, that sucks. That sucks so much, and it takes away from the whole world. I truly believe that there is so much abundance for every single person on this planet, and that if everybody truly lived up to their full potential, that there wouldn't be real lack. And maybe that's like this euphoric kind of mindset, but I truly believe that everyone can have the things that they want, because not everyone wants the same things. Some people are really, really passionate about being a baker. Some people are like, I'm going to go be the next Brad Pitt. Some people really want to help people with their health and wellness, right? There is no one size fits all for everybody. And so really have that patience and trust in yourself and in the market and in what's happening for you as you begin to go through this process of building more confidence, of learning to trust your intuition, of watching the numbers in your business go up, it doesn't happen overnight. It is the compound effect that things are happening incrementally over time, and it is building. Anytime that you feel like you have hit a wall, it is not that you've hit a wall. It's just one of those little slow, it's not a plateau, it's just slow build. But it's building. As long as you are showing up, it is still building. Cool. So that is what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. Kind of give you a little bit of a pep talk on really how to kill it this year in your business, in your life, in your relationships, across the board. If you want to show up in a bigger, better way, it begins with just getting uncomfortable. Stop hemming and hawing about should I do it, shouldn't I do it? If it's something that feels aligned to you and it excites you, then freaking go for it. Do not wait. Do not ask permission from other people. Do not get their opinion to weigh in on it. If you want to do it, do it. End of story. The time is now. So if you want to get some more support on your entrepreneurial endeavors, if you are in the health and wellness field, please head over to Health Coaches Go from Social Media to Sales. That is the Facebook group that my business partner Angie Lee and I run together. You can also go and check that Facebook group out by just typing into your URL, Health Coaches Make Bank. So come over, check us out, join the group. We love having new people join our tribe. It's an incredible group of people. So I look forward to seeing you there, and have an amazing day. Bye.